GM everyone, and welcome back to the Decod3rs channel. So tonight we have a celebrity of the timeline. Fxnction, man, thank you so much for accepting the invitation. I'm so hyped for this stream. Welcome home, bro.
Dude, thank you for having me, bro. Stoked to be here.
Yeah, that's amazing. GM everyone from the chat, from Jazz, Hoshi, Mr. Rob, King Kong, yeah, Yero, what's up? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, again, man, like Fxnction, I'm following you since like a couple of years, like since the last bull market, and yeah, bro, that's such a pleasure to have you here. Like I remember, I don't know if you remember that I tweeted about about a thread about it was about like you saying like content creation. There is like so many opportunities to do in Web3. It was a podcast you did in 2018. And man, that's why you're here, man, on this channel.
Dude, glad to be here. Thanks, man. That means a lot.
That's cool.
We had some last bull run.
Yeah. I know you're coming back as a Fxnction 2.0, right?
Yeah, a little bit of evolution, exactly.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, first question, what triggered this evolution? Like, why do you need to go to Fxnction 2.0?
I took a lot of time in this bear market to just kind of self-reflect and observe, who, like, the person that I was becoming, as well as my actions throughout the bull market. And I think there was a lot of good things that went down. I'm not. Oh, that's the timer for this interview. I think there was a lot of good things that went down. I don't want to demonize it at all, because I think it was a really beautiful time and a really fun experience. And there were like ways that I behaved that weren't really fully attuned with my heart and who I was as a person. And after I got hacked a couple times, after I lost the majority of my money, I really just had to, like, you have a choice when something like that happens. You can just quit and you can give up, or you can really sit down, you can self-reflect, and you can look at the different places where like I looked at the different places where I wasn't my best self, where I wasn't fully aligned with who I wanted to be. And I looked at the areas where I had gotten a little too overly addicted to the gambling mentality and the nature of this ecosystem. I looked at places where I hadn't been truly fully myself, some places where I may have been and probably was an asshole. And so there's just different like ways that I was like looking at it. And so I sat down for a long time and just self-reflected and kind of restructured the parts of myself into something that I can be more proud of every single day.
That's amazing. And honestly, like everything that you said, like was well reflected from your podcast that you did with Mark. Like everyone in the chat, like you have to watch this one, because it was like you went really like the personal level. And I think that's Mark is doing like the best, like talking about like the personal side of it, of the people like in Web3. I want to like orientate this like podcast and like a stream around like your investment strategy and business side of it. But yeah, everyone in the chat, go to the Mark channels and like watch the stream, because it was a banger. And yeah, like it was amazing.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was actually really special for me, because I don't think I've ever been able to tell my story in that much depth before. So it was a unique opportunity for me to piece together different parts of my life and share them in an organized format, and have someone like Mark who's very good at asking questions and leading me into the story. So it was a fun experience.
Yeah. 100%. So yeah, like I want people like to consider the part one of this interview on the Mark channel.
Exactly.
Yeah, if they want to know you the best, they need to watch it. It's a must to watch, that's for sure. But okay, so I want to talk to you about like what you're building, what you're focusing in the beer market. And thank you so much, Edima, for your donation. I saw I conquer. That's what's up. Like, thank you so much for your every stream donation, Edima. That's what's up. We're making money. We need a couple of them, and then we're gonna be profitable for sure.
Oh,
that's fucking cool. Okay, so last bull market, you were able like to take over the time like multiple times with like all of your tweet and all of your presence and stuff. But like what people maybe don't know is that you are also an investor in pre-seed, in like successful project, like like the biggest marketplace, like Magic Eden. That can't. And then honestly, yeah, I want to orient that. I want to dig that part a bit more because, yeah, like what are you looking for in this bear market, like to develop and prepare for the next bear run in terms of investment and private equity investment?
Right now, I've kind of taken a little bit of a slower pause after getting
Okay.
hacked a few times on private
Yeah.
equity investments, but I am talking with like a lot of founders every single week of
Yeah.
like and people building really cool new things. And I think what like the thing that I always look for is like who are the people behind what's being built? You know,
Mm.
how much diligence do they have? How much dedication do they have? How like and you can kind of like start to sense that or at least I've started to sense it a little bit more as I interact with more and more people. I can kind of tell who's like just here, like, and it's not a problem, but there's like some people that are just like trying to cash in on the quick opportunity.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that are like, you know what, like I want to build something that'll be sustainable for the next few years through the bull run, et cetera, et cetera. Got pretty lucky on the Magic Eden one. And grateful to be supporting their team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've really just been looking for really strong, dedicated builders and people who are staying around in the bear market and see opportunities still here, even in the bear market, and continue to build.
I mean, like the bear market by itself, it's a pretty good filters to see who's staying and build like a sustainable business long term. Because again, like you're not going to raise 2 million in 2 minutes after the mint, like next week. So yeah, if you launch a project right now, there's a good chance that if you're a winner, you can win big for sure. That
100%.
Yeah. And and that's what you also like with your business, like ratio, which is like you put like your marketing skills to the service of like upcoming project and even like established project, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We at Ratio, we're marketing and advisory agency, and on the marketing end of things, we help clients by honestly taking over their Twitter, building their entire strategy for them, and executing on it. I partnered with one of my best friends. His name's Sam. He ran the Radio Shack account about 12 months ago, if you remember that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Radio Shack was going wild. And so we partnered and we decided to create a marketing agency. And
That's cool.
later on, I opened up an advisory side to the business where I help clients and other founders kind of navigate the ecosystem a little bit better.
Okay, I need to talk to you about that because we need to steal the timeline with Decod3rs too. And that could be great, like to have your help and like I'm gonna DM you after this too.
Yeah.
And okay, so and basically with that project, like obviously you talk to a lot of founders. So yeah, what do you, from your perspective, like what's happening on this bear market, like because obviously it's not also like not your first cycle neither, right? Do you see something different in this bear market that we are doing better than the previous one, or is that same story and we just repeat the same cycle again?
It's similar, but there's a lot of things that I think have improved. You know, last bear market, there weren't NFTs. There were, but there were not NFT communities. Like punks existed, CryptoKitties existed, a couple abstract NFTs existed, but there was not the community centric focus that there is now with NFTs. And I think that's something that's very, very different and unique in this bear market. And I think it's bringing people together a little bit more. You know, you still see anger on the timeline. You still see people being resentful or pushing each other's buttons and getting pissed at each other, or writing threads. This guy's this, that guy's that. But it happens a little bit less. And there's a little bit more of an inclusive nature due to the NFT factor, in my opinion. Like the NFT factor, like created a community and allowed people to like correlate around some sort of vision. And a lot of people still believe that NFTs are going to do awesome, you know? And so that kind of hope instills like a little bit more of a friendly ecosystem than the last bear market.
I mean, that's true. Like we don't, do you feel we see this sense of community with shit coins and meme coins?
Not to the same degree. No. You know, with shit coins and meme coins, there is the same degree of loudness, audacity. People always like, oh, this meme coin's the best. This meme coin's and they correlate around a community around it, but they don't necessarily have the conviction that other people do with NFTs. There's a lot more conviction in the NFT world, and people are willing to ride their bags longer, whether up or down. They're willing to hold longer, and they feel a little bit more connected to other people. And I believe that's to do like a lot with the visual aspects of it. That paired with like how a lot of people have created their digital identities around a profile picture has kind of allowed for like this ecosystem to kind of correlate, where people are like, I'm sticking in Utes forever. I'm holding God till the end. It is my digital identity. Sometimes for the better and sometimes for worse.
Yeah, because you don't really like wear the Dogecoin PFP with like the logo of Dogecoin. So you don't create that. Yeah, that's true. Like the fact that you put your whole identity behind a PFP collection that can be a rock tomorrow. That's what makes you stick to it. Like whatever, right? Like for example, with the balloon and Dub, right? Like his whole story is about this Balloonville stuff, and even if the project is normal, he's still wearing the PFP. That's crazy.
Exactly. Because it's how people identify him, and I think that happens to a lot of different people, and it can be really beneficial in the aspect of community building. It can be really beneficial because you feel like you're a part of something, and then it can also not be super beneficial if you bought a Bored Ape at $400,000 and are holding it to 65K.
It's but it's gonna back up. I accept if that's a PFP that you want to be as a Decod, man. What's up? We're going for top 1 and top 2, right?
Definitely, bro. Shout out Frank, man.
Yeah.
Always big supporter of Frank since the beginning.
Yeah, that's 100%. And I think he understands this PFP aspect of it, because like the art matters the most, and that's why you connect to it, because it's a beautiful art. And then you have your whole identity, and it's easier. It make it easier to connect even better. Like the difference between just Dead Gods and Youth art, it's crazy. It's like 100%. And the season 3.
Season 3 is coming. I'm excited.
You still have a couple of D-Gods, right?
No, I actually don't have any D-Gods. That's part of the hack story, actually. I was selling all my D-Gods in order to put a down deposit on a house. And, sold all of them, and then 2 or 3 days later, someone got in my wallet and stole all the funds.
That hurts, man.
Yeah.
Toxic.
Yeah, it hurts, but and I had to lick my wounds for a little while. But to be honest with you, like I'm actually really grateful it happened. It took me a while to get to that place, but I've come to a place of like deep gratitude around it, because I think it really humbled me, and then B also gave me like taught me a lot about security, and then C like helped me like have a much deeper appreciation for the simplicity that we find ourselves in to make money at some point in time in this ecosystem. And it made me a lot more diligent with my own personal funds moving forward, and it made me a lot more precise with how I'm going to navigate the next bull market.
Yeah, it's the cost of like a lesson, right? That's what they say. But it's better when it's lost on free. But whatever. Taking one lesson away. Yeah.
Exactly. If you look at any very, very successful individual on a financial level, most of them, like the majority of them, have lost all of their money at one point in time.
And multiple times sometimes.
Exactly. And multiple times sometimes, you look at Donald Trump, he's gone bankrupt multiple times, So I took it on the chin, and I said, you know what, it's part of the game. And I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to cry about it. I might have to like figure out how to navigate it internally. And it took me a while to do so, but I wasn't going to complain. I wasn't going to sit on Twitter and beg. I wasn't going to do all of these things that I think a lot of people end up getting caught into when they get hacked or when something bad happens to them. Just said, I'm taking it on the chin. I'm going to be a lot stronger from it. So let's see what happens.
And that's a bad thing to do, right? Take ownership on your mistakes, and then walk again, right? Like you can fall 7 times. What's matter is like getting up 8 times. That's what they say, right?
Exactly.
And okay, just to go back like to the private equity versus NFT, like how do you see like the fact that doing private equity investment versus like NFTs, where like yeah, private equity you're looking for an exit like in 5-8 years, but NFT you can exit whenever the fuck you want. Like the liquidity aspect of it, is that like uh interesting for you, or is that like more yeah the size of the investment is a bit different?
What's interesting for me in the equity investment side is spreading my chips around
Okay.
the table, you know? And so in the bull market, when capital was flowing a shit ton and, buying a bunch of stuff, or you're investing in NFTs or whatever it might be, my strategy around that was really just to say, like, let's take some random calculated bets,
Yeah.
like, if I want to throw 15K here or 25K here or this or that, it's not going to hurt my current portfolio to a very large degree. And it could net me a shit ton in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll take a calculated bet though, and bet on a team. And so that's what I do with Magic Eden, NFT Now, these other companies, Fracked on Solana.
That's cool.
Yeah, I kind of just sat back and I said, I don't know if this is going to net me anything, and I'm okay if it doesn't, because I've watched 15K, 25K go to zero fucking 20, 30 times in NFTs that I got rugged, or in other things. And so I'd rather disperse my bets a little bit and say, like, I know the bull market will come to an end one day, but if one of these companies like does well over 3 to 5 years, then I'm sitting pretty fucking nice,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, no, 100%. And yes, V, I 100% stole your tweet. See, I'm reading your timeline too, so I can ask questions and react during interviews. That's what I do. And yeah, like, what's your expectation for project like between bull market and a bear market? Like, again, like in terms of mint price action, or even like in not their investment, but like fluctuation and price action of the NFT market.
It's always worse in the bear market, and that's like, it was something that I was actually very prepared for. I sold the majority of my Bored Apes when floor was like 90 or 100 ETH.
Nice.
And they went up more afterwards, so I can't claim that I sold the exact top, but I was able to like liquidate the majority of them at a decent time, where I made a capital gain, and was able to no longer hold honestly assets that were most likely extremely overinflated at the time.
Yeah.
The thing that I didn't do well this last bull to bear cycle, which I'm going to focus on improving heavily next time around, was noticing when it was time to stop. I think when OK Bears came out and when everything was ripping with the OK Bears, like that was the very, very, very last really runner of the NFT season. That was the last time that you had the opportunity to buy something at 15 SOL and then sell it at 200 SOL in a matter of days. And so for me, I played that decently well. I didn't take enough capital out, and I also wasn't super strategic with like, hey, this could be the beginning of a deep multi-year bear market.
Yeah.
Like, let's be a little bit more conservative. And I think that's like one of my kind of goals for next time around is you're never going to catch the bottom. You're never going to sell the exact top. But if you can do a decent range, you can still make a large financial capital.
But like, how do you detect those signs when you are like, OK Bears or mint was Monday and you Tuesday, right? Like, it's easier to say, like, to analyze 1 year, 6 months after the fact, right? And like, same thing for me, bro. Like, I wanted to sell my Bitcoin at 80K because, like, I have all of my position and go to stable, and I would have put some stable coins on Terra Luna. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't exit. But so we went to 72K Bitcoin. I wanted to exit at 80, which is stupid because I could liquidate like a part of my position before that. So I write it down. Thanks to Decod, I'm writing everything done with Decod, so I'm good with that. That's cool. But
Yes.
yeah, it's really hard like to analyze in real time, right? So yeah, how do you have you seen like OKBS top and with like the market top with OKBS during OKBS time, or is that something you can say right now?
Like, did I see it in the
Yeah.
past? Is that,
Yeah, or even like, yeah, when it was happening, did you think about, yeah, is that the top right now, or did you analyze like the bias or the survivor bias, right? Like, yeah, you see it after 6 months after once it's done. You know what I mean?
usually after, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
You know, you can, it's, and it's another thing that I learned like this last bear market or bull market and into the bear was like, it's
Mhm.
very easy to get caught up
Yeah.
in the hype, you know,
Yeah.
and that can be your own delusional hype that you've created. It can be the hype of the team, just
Yeah.
overhyping what they've created. And a lot of the times it's just Twitter itself. You know, if
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
sitting on Twitter all day during a bear market, or during a bull market, which usually is how you're able to find good plays pretty early and be
Mhm.
calculated and strategic. Um, it's very easy to fall into the pattern that everybody else has, which is like
Mhm.
buy everything that everyone's talking about, you
Yeah.
know? And some people like to be like, yo, it's the influencers that are talking about stuff, you know, and they're hyping it
Yeah.
up. And to a degree, that's very, very true. But also
Yeah.
to a degree, like I'm following other influencers. I like sometimes I'm following people with 100 followers into things, and they're not even
Mhm.
influencers. They're just people I see on my timeline because I follow them or I've engaged with them at one point in time. And some of the best plays I've ever had are from smaller accounts.
Yeah.
And so, and some of the worst plays, but uh, it's kind of about how do you like manage and temper the hype when it starts to spiral out of control.
Mhm.
Uh, how do you stay like diligent and calculated in it? And that's what I'm very heavily focused on this like next bull market, and something that I wasn't as heavily focused on. You know, I got very
Yeah.
addicted to the gambling nature of crypto. You know, I
Mhm.
got very deep into the like gotta flip it and make another one,
Yeah.
flip it, make another one, and it's fun, it's
Yeah.
exciting, it's exhilarating, there's a dopamine rush that happens every single time I do it, and you
Mhm.
never know what the top is, you never know when the bottom is, so you're kinda sitting there, like, with this, like,
Yeah.
calculated bet, gambling on whether it's gonna go up or not, and, like, looking back now, I think that, like, I'm going to and have been slowly building a strategic exit plan for the next bull
Okay.
market. You know, slowly planning and like, you know, when you got a couple million on the plate, like, and you started with a couple $1,000,
Yeah.
then there's a good strategy to say, hey man, like maybe it's time to at least take 1M off the table,
Yeah.
you know, like maybe it's time to just like play a little bit safer and
Yeah.
more conservative.
Change a life. 1 million change a life, right? So yeah. And so right now you are like, have you decided of your number that you want to exit for the next bull market right now, or you just like still inside the spreadsheet?
I mean, I have numbers in my head that I'd like to hit.
Nice.
We'll
Let's
see if
go.
we, you know, I think it's a very balanced, like a
Mm.
balanced equation because I can have numbers in my head that I want, but
Mhm.
if I hold on and I attach to those too deeply, then I won't be satisfied even if I'm only 20% or 30% away from those numbers. And what if that's the
Yeah.
top? If that's
Yeah,
the top,
exactly.
I'll always be striving for some imaginary number in my head that
Mm.
it might not be the next bull market that I hit. It might be the one after. I don't
Yeah.
know. And
No,
so for
understand.
me, it's like being as like having a goal, but being as like loose around my expectations of actually hitting that goal as I possibly
Mm.
can.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so if I tell you that you know someone that have like a good chunk of Decod and like 80% of his assets in the slab, is that being a genius or it being quite stupid?
I wonder if you're talking about someone specific here.
No, just a friend, just a friend, just a friend.
That's I think it depends on like many different situations,
Mm.
you know. It depends on like do you like I'll give you a great example here.
Yeah.
I won't directly answer your question because I don't want your
That's
friend
okay.
financial advice. Um, But like the one thing that I remember is when it was in the bull market last time around, right?
Mm,
Someone DM'd me, and I don't even remember his name, but he had a bored ape and he had a mute, and he
mm,
DMs me, and this was right before ApeCoin dropped. It was when bored apes were at the highest price, mutants were on their way up. He DMs me and says, "Hey, bro, like, what's going? Like, what do you think I should do here? I've got
yeah,
this board. It's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've got this mutant. Like, you have any recommendations for me?" And I told him I can't give you direct advice, but
yeah,
give me some context.
mm,
And so he gave me a little context, and he said, "You know what? Like, this is what my life is like. Every single day, I go to my day job. I have $100 in my bank account, and I go to my day job from 8 p.m. until 1 a.m. And I work at a bar, and
mm,
everything I make from working at that bar, as well as tips, etc., is how I live my life. I've never had this amount of money before. I've never
yeah,
experienced this level of wealth before, and I just don't know what to do. You know."
mm,
Uh, and so I give you that context because I think it really depends upon how like your friend has structured his existence, you know.
yeah, no,
If
yeah,
if 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 you're sitting on like if you can live comfortably
yeah,
and you can be relaxed every
mm,
single day and not worry about whether the price of the D God is
yeah,
90 or 2 ETH, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
then you're fine.
yeah,
There's
exactly.
nothing to worry about. But if
Mm,
you're I think it becomes a very, very big issue when
yeah,
when those like prices of those assets start to impact how you're
yeah,
living your daily life.
100%.
If you're at the bar with your boys on a Friday night,
Yeah,
like having a couple drinks, enjoying life, but you are like looking at your phone every 3 minutes to see if DGOD's floor price is 7.5 or 7.8 now,
yeah,
then it's probably time to de-risk a little bit. You know what I
100%.
mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But if you're sitting there and you're like, you know what, like all these assets could go down 50%,
Mm,
70%, and I'm still going to be okay. My life is
yeah,
still going to be comfortable. I'm still going to be able to enjoy it and live happily.
mm,
Then, like have fun, enjoy the ride, as well as like make sure you check yourself and not in like getting into too much delusion. That's
yeah,
what I saw in the last bull market with what I saw in the last two bull markets, and I'm rambling, but it's important. The Bitcoin first bull market when Bitcoin hit 20K, I was just entering crypto. I was a couple
mm,
months into crypto, and everyone on the timeline was saying Bitcoin's going to $100,000. It's
mm,
not stopping at 20, it's going to 100. And it stopped at 20 and went down. The
yeah,
same thing happened with bored apes, which is mostly why I sold the majority of my bored apes, was because as soon as it started to hit the 200, $300,000 range, everyone started to scream, every bored ape is going to $1 million. They're going to hit $1 million floor price. And as soon as I saw that, I said, okay, man, like it could be true. I'm not going to say it
yeah,
won't happen. It could, but you've already like bought it at $500 and now you have 200, like you have a quarter million,
mm,
like why not de-risk? Why not take some off the table? Why not enjoy your life a little bit? And
yeah,
I think that the kind of ties into both the questions you asked me. It's like, as soon as you see delusion in the market, if you can keep a stable enough head, you'll be able to see the delusion and you'll be able to stay in the middle of it and
yeah,
watch it happen around you. That's when you sell.
mm,
It's simple. But a lot of times people just get caught up in the delusion because they're so deep in the
yeah,
community and they're
100%.
so tied to their identity being tied to these JPEGs that they just say,
Mm,
you know what, like I don't think I can sell this thing.
yeah,
And that's when you watch it go down fucking 70%.
yeah. Yeah, it's also like, yeah, the relationship that you have with money that is also interesting when you start to accumulate like a lifetime. Like some people will never get to those numbers in their lifetime of work, right?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, again, like I was like, that's my most performing tweet when I would say, oh yeah, I lost like half a million in non-profit taken, blah blah blah. A banger tweet, bro. But like, yeah, I was like going like into the bar because like I didn't give a shit. Like again, I know that as a software engineer, I can, if I really need money, I can find a job in like 3 hours and make like 5 figures like salary income, and then I'm fine, and then I can like live my life correctly without any crypto portfolio whatsoever. So once
Exactly.
I have that, like I don't give a shit, right? Like I have a number to like exit my position. Just give me a little bit more, Frank, and then I'm good. But yeah, like it's I think it's your relationship with money is really important. Like if you see it just as like not status, but like money for money, and you're just running after, you're gonna go crazy with crypto, right? But like if it's just a tool to more freedom and more stuff that you can delay, even like that delay the gratification of money, then like it's the best mindset. Like
I think a lot of people need, like, especially before the bull market comes around, a lot of people need to just sit down by themselves, like alone, and think, what is the goal here?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, is the goal to have the coolest profile picture ever? Like, if it is, great. Like, good luck. You know, or is the goal to utilize the financial opportunity that's in front of you to simplify your life, to make your life easier and more comfortable to a degree? You know, and I think that's what I got caught up in a little bit last time, and I think that's something I've been very strategic about this time. Is like the goal is no longer to like be the coolest person on Twitter. Like I'm cool as I am, and I know I am, you know, and the people in my life love me. And so like my goal now is to create enough financial capital to A, like provide for myself, but B, to provide for the people around me and my friends and my family, as well as my like extended family, you know, the people that I care about very deeply and who like struggle to make a couple $1,000s a month, you know. And if I'm in a great financial situation and I'm like very comfortable in my life, then I have the capacity to build a kingdom that can provide for those people, you know, as well as like support the creation of new things, you know. And that's like really where my head's more been at, is like I love to create businesses. I love to create ideas. I'm only 31, you know. I'm sure I'm going to have 50 more ideas before the time I die that I want to create. And if I have a shit ton of capital that I've accrued from making a couple good trades or just being early on stuff, then I have a great more adaptability to make those ideas multi-million-dollar ideas or hundreds of millions of dollars ideas, you know? And so that's kind of like where my head's at with it now. Is it's no longer like, while I do enjoy the Twitter atmosphere and I do think I like will be tweeting a lot in the bull market and probably get a lot of attention, it's no longer about that though, you know? I think a lot of last bull for me, then I learned a lot about myself, and it was like the reason I bought 55 DeGods like at 3 to 5 or 3 to 10 soul, like I was just sweeping them. One was because I did genuinely believe in Frank, and I genuinely believed in DeGods and the capacity for them. But two, like in reality, I was mostly just like, yo, I get a lot of attention when I tweet DeGods. And the DeGod community fucking loves it. So why not buy a fuck ton of these things? Get people's attention on me. And that was one of the good plays where that worked out, but I have hundreds of other ones that they went to zero. And so next bull market, like while I do play the public facing game, and that is part of like what I love to do and part of my role here, I also want to be more strategic about it and want to structure my like strategy in a way that isn't like so deeply influenced by what people think about me online, especially people who for the most part I like probably wouldn't hang out with for more than 10 minutes in person.
I mean, like like it's honestly I'm happy like to start like content creation at 30 plus, because like I'm pretty sure that at some point I will not give a shit about the opinion of like Kevin72 with like a random EFP whatever, right? Like, but like when you go like into that shit like younger, bro, that can fuck you up like crazy, man.
Yeah, I was, when I was Shell Nye and I started that whole career up at like 2018, and I got like 50,000 followers. I was only like 25 or something like that. And so it was very, very confusing. It's very, very challenging to operate that, especially when you're younger. You don't really know who's just like being nice to you because you're popular or who really cares about you. And I learned very, very quickly and kind of the hard way that
Yeah.
A lot of people just like kind of talk shit just to talk shit, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and it's kind of part of the game, you know, especially as a public figure or someone who's like creating content out in the world, you know, whether you got 5,000 followers or 500,000 followers, like your words impact people,
Yeah.
and those people sometimes don't recognize how their words impact you.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to like learn how to make yourself a fucking rock, you
Mm.
know, not be hard, like not harden your heart per se, but like make yourself a rock that can just like stand strong amongst
Yeah.
all of the opinions, whether positive or negative.
Exactly.
Uh,
100%. Yeah, like that. I think like, yeah, the like from feedback from like bigger content creators, like, yeah, again, like million YouTube like subscribers, YouTubers and shit like that. Like the majority of they're saying like, okay, I read the comment and stuff, but like the love and the hate that doesn't really exist to me. I have to have like uh to to set it up like as abstract, like all of the comments and people who follow me, it's like a gigantic mass, and I can't take the love because it's too much, and I can't take the hate neither because you go crazy, man. Like, yeah, like again, you have a random guy from another country that just going to insult you for you and you like on the seventh generation. Like, what did you do? Just publish a video that you didn't like what the fuck, man?
and everybody loves you till you make a mistake.
Yeah.
And especially on Twitter and crypto Twitter, like everybody wants to pedestal someone.
Yeah.
You know, if you sit back and you observe it more than participating deeply in it, you can
Yeah.
watch the cycle change. It goes
Yeah.
from this person to this person to this person. You know,
Mm.
I was in the limelight for a really long time in the bull market. You
Mm.
know, then it kind of moved to like K money. Then it went to kind of
Yeah.
shilling. Now it's like
Mm.
all about thread guy. You know, and it's always a rotating cycle of attention.
Yeah.
Uh, and most people don't know how to handle being pedestaled
Yeah.
by a large community, and it gets to them very deeply, which is why, like, if I'm being honest, no one lasts in that limelight for very
Mm.
long. You can rock it for a little bit, but most people can't handle the not even the attention, but they can't handle the emotional pressure that it takes
Yeah.
to be able to withstand everyone's opinions and judgments of you.
Mm.
And you're a human, so everybody's going to make a mistake. That's
Okay.
the thing. Everybody's
Mm.
going to like do something, and I'm not even going to say a mistake. I almost want to say someone. You're always going to be doing something that someone doesn't like. And as
Mm.
soon as the majority of people don't like one of the things that you do, then all of a sudden you're not that dude anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and they move it to somebody else.
Mm.
And so it's kind of like interesting game. Like it's almost like a strategy game to me, you know,
Mm.
like watching and observing all of this happen and being strategic about it,
Yeah.
because I knew like as soon as the bull market died and the bear market happened, I knew it was time for me to slow down my tweets.
Mm.
And it wasn't like part of it was because, you know, I needed to take a breather. A lot of energy happened. I got hacked. All the stuff happened. But a lot of it was also because I knew when I was at 115,000 followers that it was going to take me like the entire bear market to get to
Mm.
125,000 followers.
Yeah.
If I'm strategic about it, I stay in people's attention. I'm able to like play the game, and then I come back full force in the bull market, fully energized, fully
Mhm.
revived. Then you get hundreds of thousands of followers like that
Yeah.
because there's so many eyes on you. It's a different game.
Okay.
And I see a lot of people playing the game very hard in the bear market. I think it's a good thing for some people, you know, especially people that are growing and want to grow, you know, and want to like build a brand. But also, like, you can't judge yourself based upon solely what's happening in the
Yeah.
bull market, bear market, you
Yeah.
know, and it's not a direct reflection of your effort or your performance.
100%. That's yeah, like the whole social network life. It for me, it's fascinating. It's like a social experiment almost, like about like the human mind and see how people react to it. It's kind of like this game is fascinating for sure, 100%. And like, when the attention like you got less attention because of the bull market and just like this rotation of influencers, how did you manage it personally? Like, did you feel not attacked, but like did you felt it like internally, or you just like, okay, I know the cycle, it's just like it is what it is, and I slow down? Like, how did you feel when that happened to you?
I knew it was the cycle. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, part of me was like, yo, where'd the attention go? Yeah. So some part of me felt like a little bit insecure, but like
Mm,
most of me was just recognize like this is what happens. This is how like things occur in a bear market. When I created the Function account, I created it in July of 2021.
mm.
6 or 8 months, I had over 100,000 followers. You know,
Sick.
it won because I was tweeting a lot and being very, very active and vocal, but also because it's a fucking bull market. There's
Mhm.
new eyes on the space every day. And now I can like clearly say that like my 125,000 followers, probably, I don't even know how many are active, but not even like probably 50% are active anymore.
Yeah.
Most of them are not, like, if they're active, they're just watching, they're not participating, and
Mm,
they're waiting for the time the bull market comes back to start participating, like, and so I think that's what people don't recognize is a lot of, like, I watch a lot of people kind of like draining their energy trying to create the best content possible in the bear market,
mhm.
and it's not a bad thing because you're getting skills, you're
Yes.
understanding how the
Practicing.
ecosystem works. It's good
Yeah.
overall, but you also have to recognize like you have to be able to strategically exert your energy.
Mm,
Like, in my opinion, you shouldn't go full force in a bear
yeah.
market. You should learn what works and what doesn't work, keep it steady, continually put out content as you're inspired to. And then when the bull market hits, hit it, turn it on, make it go
Yes.
10 times harder than you have gone. But I think a lot of people are going to end up with the bull market starting and they're going to start fading into less relevancy
Mm,
because they wasted a lot of their energy trying to get people's attention in a market that people don't care.
yeah. Okay. I love what you're saying. It's so cool, bro. Like this channel, like we're building during the bull market. We initiated like in January. Like we have 2 years to build that channel, and like promise you, this shit's gonna be a banger during the bull market. Like I want to be the Anthony Pompliano of NFTs by the next bull market.
Love that. And that's the way to think about it. I
Yeah.
think you're thinking about it the right way. And Tobox asked what's the best way to execute here in the
Yeah.
chat, and I think like the best way to execute is exactly like what you said. You build a vision for where you want to be in the bull
Yes.
market. Like, you build a vision and you see other people doing things that you think are cool and you want to structure something similar to them. You do something
Mm,
like that. And then you start to strategize around it. It doesn't mean you don't post. It doesn't mean you don't put out content. What you do is you strategically do so. So you've seen me write a couple threads. Like, I don't do it every day. The reason I don't do it every day is because it exerts too much energy. But
yeah.
what I do is I write a thread every once in a while and I see how people react. And once they like start to like well, every thread I've written, bang, like just got hundreds of thousands of views. And so now I have a strategy. I know in my head how to write a thread properly,
Mm,
how to get people's attention through thread writing on Twitter. I'm not going to do it every week. I'm not going to do it every day because it's a bear market. But when the bull market turns on, you're going to be goddamn sure that I'm going to be writing a lot of fucking threads, and there's going to be
yeah.
millions of views. So you start to curate, Toebox asks, curate and cultivate. Yes, you
Mm,
start to curate your skills. You start to try new content out. You
yeah.
test content. You throw a meme out there. Does it do well? You try this type of good morning post. You try that type of good morning post. You test things and you cultivate the skill set in these different realms of saying, okay, cool. Do I want to be just like the real, like, the meme guy? Do I want to be the guy that's just always on Twitter Spaces yelling but isn't like
Mm,
very educated? Like, do I want to be do I want to cultivate more educational material that actually draws my audience to learn more? None of them are wrong. Like,
mhm.
you can also mix all three of them up. There's no right or wrong way to do it. But you can watch other people's styles, see what works for them, and then like see what actually aligns with who you are. Because I love Thread Guy. He's a homie. Like, he's
Mm,
not like, I'm not hating on Thread Guy at all, but like, I know that my style would not work, or
yeah.
his style would not work for me. I'm
Yeah.
not going to go on Twitter Spaces and start yelling and screaming at people. Like, it works really well for him. He gets a lot of people on Spaces, and I applaud him for his strategy. But it doesn't work for me. I don't enjoy doing that.
Mm,
It's not the way that I want to portray myself. Nor is it like who I am as a person. I would rather learn more about the space and educate people and make some jokes here and there and meme around, just more my style. So you start to like curate your own style and cultivate your own like format of content and test it and test it and test it. And then once you've got something that is like working well, you just start to rip it.
That's cool. And have you seen what's happening on Twitter right now with like the monetization and stuff? Like, what's your take on that? Is that gonna change Twitter forever?
Yeah, man. I think, I think it makes it more interesting. Like I turned mine on like 4 or 5 days ago, and I got $500 yesterday. And like, and I'm not like, and I think there's two things to think about this. Like, one, I have chosen the path of not doing something different to make more money. I think that's like very, very, very important to note on my end, because I'm watching some of the bigger accounts as well as smaller accounts like almost force themselves to try and make more content to make more money. But that's not how the game works.
Yeah.
The game doesn't work like that. You're not going to be able to just pump out a bunch of nonsense and hope that more people see it and then make a couple $100 every month off of Twitter. It's not that easy. I've chosen the opposite route. I said that, like, when I was turning on monetization, I said, I will turn this on, but it will not change the way that I operate on Twitter. I won't allow myself to start to post complete bullshit for no fucking reason or force content into the ecosystem because I can get paid an extra couple $100 or $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I don't need it. Like,
Yeah,
I don't,
and
so,
that's when you burn out anyway, right? Like, if you start doing shit that it's not you, like, fuck it, you're gonna do that for 2 weeks, and you're gonna go for a walk, and you're gonna forget about all of the bullshit that you posted, and like the routine will go away because it's not you. Like, it's short-term shit between like building legacy and like long-term businesses, 100%.
Exactly. And you just need to be more strategic with it, and like, I think that's going to be the downfall of a lot of people that you see over the next 3 to 6 months. They're actually going to nuke their own profiles and nuke their own reputation to earn $500 a month extra.
Exactly.
It makes no sense. It's actually illogical, but they will be doing it, and they already are doing it, and so for me, in my opinion, like, what I do is I'm keeping it the same, and I just want to keep it as real as fucking possible, because it doesn't fucking matter if you post 1,000 tweets or 10,000 tweets. What fucking matters is if you post quality tweets that people give a shit about. You saw Frank, bro, great example. Frank, that motherfucker barely tweets at all, bro. He like tweets once every couple days and just says some fucking crazy shit, and people fucking like love it, But he made 12 grand in a month on Twitter.
I think it's payback of 3 or 4 months, right?
Maybe 3 or 4 months. I don't know yet.
It's crazy. Right? It's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah, like, still, like, 12 G's, awesome.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of what people need to realize is it's no longer about like just posting bullshit quality or quantity tweets. It's about posting quality.
And that's the power of Web3 too, right? Because Frank has this impression because, so first there's like the whole Web3 thing that knows as Frank and like OG Frank, blah, blah, blah. But also like Decod platform that know that it has with the Decod community. Like, it's unstoppable. And that's the whole basis behind like before for season 1 of Shoots, right? Like the partnership with like highly targeted audience. Then you can sell better and more targeted product. This shit is so valuable. Like, just that, it's a multi-million-dollar business just in terms of marketing aspect of it. It's a banger. Like, it's crazy. The potential is insane.
100%. Tons of potential.
Can't wait to have that with Decod3rs, man. That's gonna be cool. and like, if you want to educate people, like you want to launch your podcast or like long form content, or like what's coming from you in terms of content?
It's a good question, man. I used to have a podcast back in the day. But I don't know. I've had a lot of people ask me that recently. Maybe we will start a podcast. You never know.
I think like yeah, like on Twitter, it's kind of yeah tricky because obviously like yeah, you just like the Twitter live features was kind of bullshit, right? Because like you don't have like the Twitter Space notification on your live and stuff. But yeah, if we can have that plus the monetization, bro, I'm multi-streaming Twitter, YouTube, Kick maybe I don't know, but like it's gonna be banger for sure.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
100%.
And how do you see your audience like? Because I always wondering, like for example, for Rihanna, like how like big celebrities, how do they perceive their fans? Like, is that do they really care about them? Like, do they really love them, or is that like just like a wallet with legs? And yeah, people are going to concert, and then she can enjoy the lumber, right? Like, what's your perception of your audience for you, like with the people that follow you every day and read what you post?
Question, man. I care a lot about the people who follow
Mhm.
me. I do so, and I want to say that within context because it's not the same as me caring about my homies and my
Yeah.
friends who I know in person who I've known for 12 years, you know. But like I wouldn't share the depths of myself to a large audience and group of people if I didn't like at least hope and intend that there's a few people that are picking up pieces of knowledge from it and will improve their
Mhm.
lives, you know. And I care like to the like deepest degree that I possibly can about connecting with people on a one-on-one basis as much as
Yeah.
possible. You know, when when people DM me and are like, "Hey, like I've got a question or this or that," I do my best to always respond.
Yeah.
You know, I also am like very diligent about my time as well. So if you're DMing me and being like, "How do I get whitelist, bro?" Like probably like I care about you, but not that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go waste the majority of
Yeah.
my time, my day that is spent building my world in order to like and like help you like figure out a fucking super simple solution that you can just Google. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So like I care about people. I deeply also like care about and connect with the people that have enough like personal fortitude to like learn and make decisions for themselves and grow,
Yeah.
you know. So like my favorite people who are like to follow and be interact with are the people that are saying that might DM me and say, "Hey bro, like I don't know what to do here, can you give me some advice?" And then I
Mm.
give them some advice and they don't sit in my DMs asking me 100 questions after that.
Yeah.
They say thank you, I appreciate the advice, and then they come back in 6 months and say, "Dude, that advice changed my life, you're the fucking
Mm.
man, I love you." You know, like those are the people that I respect the most. And like, I
Yeah.
don't like a lot of the time, I think like a lot of the people in crypto and Web3 don't know how to take responsibility for themselves. You know, I think that's either due to age or a lack of experience.
Mm.
And so, like, it was a very, very interesting and delicate time in the bull market for me because a lot of people would just be like, "Hey, dude, what do I do here?" You know,
Yeah.
and I give a little like side of advice, and then like they come back, they're like, "Well, okay, what do I do next?" Or like, "How do I do this? How do I do that?" You know, and it's
Yeah.
like,
For
look, I'm
golf. Yeah.
here to support. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
like be a dick. I'm not here to just
Mm.
like randomly like tell you to fuck off or something. And at the same time, like you need to have some sort of level of personal responsibility that you are taking on when you are asking someone else a question.
Yeah.
Gail says infinite DMs incoming.
Yeah. But basically, don't DM dumb shit, and then you're good, right? Like, and honestly, I have to praise you because like the speed of yeah you answering to me in your DMs, bro, like was oh yeah that's my boy.
Yeah,
Like
I
I was
honestly
amazed. That
love
was cool.
answering.
Yeah.
Like it's one of my favorite things to do is to interact with people, especially
Mm.
on a personal one-on-one level. I
Yeah.
think where my pet peeve comes is when I give good advice and I give guidance to someone or I give them like some form of direction, but then they think that like they can just sit and like suck on my tit all day.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I'm like, no, dude, like go do your thing, like
Yeah.
go build yourself, and then like come back to me when you need advice and you need like
Mm.
when you need to structure some stuff like that's going to be all great. I'm happy to help, but I don't have time to guide you through every single little step, you know. I don't have
Yeah.
time.
Because
Nobody
there is
does.
100,000 people who are ready to take your advice in the DM. So yeah, like just 5 minutes for each. That's a lot of time in the day, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
my own life. I'm trying to run businesses and shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People want a guide with exactly what's going on to make them succeed without knowing that exactly that won't let them. Yeah, it's like just don't send a DM that you will not want to receive first, and yeah, just don't be dumb, and then everything should go well. Like yeah,
Yeah, I mean, most people are really receptive here, you know? Like,
yeah,
I'm like, I think for I can speak for myself specifically, like, I'm a receptive dude. I'm not just gonna, like, tell you if you ask me something genuine in DMs, I'm
yeah,
not gonna not respond unless I completely miss it, which usually never happens,
mm,
and I'm also not gonna be a fucking dick to you, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, it's like it's only when it's like, "Hey, bro, I see you're working with Groovies. How do I get whitelists?" I'm like,
uh,
"Dude, come on." Like, or, "Hey, dude, like, da da da, like, do you think this project's gonna go up?" You know, and I'll give you an
yeah,
honest answer. I don't know, you know? But it's kind of like, I don't think people understand, which is the other side of the coin. They don't understand that when there's, like, people with very large followings, like, how many
yeah,
DMs we get and how we have to, like, navigate through them, and I'm not complaining about it because I
mm,
chose it, and I'm fully aware of my choice of it, but I'm also very, uh, diligent with my time and have to be diligent with my
yeah,
time. And sometimes people, "Oh, you gave me a short answer, bro." Like, yeah, like I'm doing shit. You know what I mean? I'm living my life. Like I've got shit to do. Uh,
exactly.
and so it's not out of disrespect or anything like that. It's just more out of like understanding that like there's a lot of shit going on, you
Yeah.
know, for everybody, and gotta just be patient.
And yeah, I think like this accountability side of it, it's kind of crazy. It's like, yeah, okay, an influencer tweet about a project and just after mint, the project worked. That doesn't mean the fucking influencer got paid like 200 grand to just tweet and then work, right? Like this shit can happen. And you are the guy who fucking pressed the mint button because you saw a fucking tweet on the timeline. If you do that, it's all about like, it's your fault. Like, which
Trust
is
me,
like,
bro. I
huh?
do it every day, you know, I do it every
Yeah,
day. I buy some random fucking meme coin.
exactly.
It gets rugged. Some guy in the Telegram chat told me to buy it,
Mm.
but, like, I'm also not sitting there blaming them. And I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that's, like, part of the game.
Yeah, exactly. You never DM like a guy, oh, bro, you owe me 2K because I'm into your shit. Like, what the fuck? It's just no, don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to crypto.
Yeah. It's just Monday, bro. And yeah, like, and in my podcast, like you mentioned, like the integrity of like, yeah, like what you posted and stuff like that, and how you work with project. Um, so how do you detect the integrity into the founders? Like, is that like introduction from your network, or like you, yeah, like the way you can read human interaction? Like, how do you
It's
select that?
it's challenging. I'm still
Mm,
learning, to be honest with you. I don't have the full answer yet on that. Because a lot of the times, like, when I talk to founders and DMs or on the phone, and they want me to be an advisor, they want me to do this, an ambassador or whatever it is, um, they sound genuine, and they also like sound like they've got a lot of cool ideas, you know.
mm,
But a lot of the time, I can't really see their full integrity until about a month or two into working with them.
yeah,
You know, for me personally, what I've been doing a lot more recently is watching for the small things. You know, how do they like interface on very, very small things? You know,
mm,
I watched an Instagram the other day, and I thought it was a really good one. I'm a golfer. I play a lot of golf. You can probably
yes,
tell by my timeline. Um, but someone was talking about how they were playing golf with a businessman, and they were thinking who they were thinking about doing a business deal with. And they kept watching him move the ball a little bit, like when it was in a bad position in the grass, a bad lie, or it was
mm,
when it was like, around a tree, they'd move it out from under the tree. And they decided not to do business with him. And they're like,
mm,
"Why why won't you do business with me? He said, I saw you cheating on the golf course. He said, well, that's not a big deal. It's just a game. I'm just moving it around to have more fun. Well, apparently a couple months later, that guy got sent to prison for like tax fraud, or something like that, you know? And so I think I really am a big believer that how you do the little things is how you do everything. You know, like if you look around my house, the majority of my house is pretty much immaculate. And it's not because I have a house cleaner, it's because I spend time cleaning my fucking house. You know, like sometimes my grass outside gets a little long, but I'm gonna go mow that shit tomorrow. You know? But like I really do believe that, like, especially as a man in this world, how you do the little things is how you do everything. And so if you're taking little shortcuts on small things because it's like, oh, it's too hard, or it's not enough time a day, then you hold the same level of integrity in business and in everything else. And so that's kind of how I operate, is kind of watching a lot of the times is watching how founders interface with their community. You know, even small responses can signify that they have integrity in what they do. Watching how they respond to people in private as well. You know, like, are you respectful to me when we're on a phone call? Are you respectful to like my friends? You know, a lot of the times we go to like events and stuff like that, and people be, oh, your function, no way. And they'll completely ignore my boys, who are honestly, a lot of them, I would say, they're a lot of them are smarter than me. Most of them are smarter than me in different ways, but a lot of them are just very intelligent human beings. And so if you are even slightly disrespectful to the people that I'm around, then you're disrespectful to me. And so it's really how I like to watch and observe how people interface with other people.
Like, you know, it's like if you can't make your bed, like, how do you expect to change the world, right? Like, all of that. It's it's cool. Bro, I like your mindset a lot. That's exactly what I expect from you in this but I love it. It's so cool. Okay, so you see, and it's already like 1 hour, like, so we're gonna slowly wrap it up to stay around the hour and like maintain the format. But okay, talk to me about Ratio, and even like sense, like the product that you launch working on right now. Okay, so let's start with like a sense on Discord, right? Like, so it's a bot to receive notification on Telegram and text message, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So essentially, I call it the ultimate Discord marketing tool. You know, when we were all in the bull market and we were in 50 different Discords, like, what I would do is I would always miss notifications and announcements. Sometimes they would be for airdrops or staking, and it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in a bull market down the drain. Mostly because I'm just not paying attention to Discord, nor can I pay attention to 50 different announcement channels. We created a bot that allows you to essentially install your bot in your Discord. Someone can go into the Discord, they can subscribe to the bot, they can say, I'll subscribe via SMS or Telegram, whatever that might be. And then the owner or the admin can utilize the bot to text their entire audience. You know, and so it just simplifies the notification process. You don't get every notification, you're not getting all the messages, but specific ones that the founders want everyone to see, which are usually the most important ones. They can type a little message in the Discord bot. They can click send, and then all of a sudden, boom! Right on my phone, I've got a notification from Sense.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, you just need to be selective on what kind of message you're gonna send to your texting your audience. But love it. It's cool, pretty cool. It's basically like the everyone tag, but direct in your phone. That's cool.
Exactly.
And do you have like KPIs of like open like the number of opening on rate and stuff like that, like people reading the text messages and not just snooze the text? Do you have those KPIs?
Say that one more time.
Sorry, like the opening rate of those text messages. Do you have it?
I mean, the normal text message open rate is like 99%. The normal Discord open rate is like 85%.
Yeah.
I think people look at their Discord notifications 20 to 30% of the time at best.
Yeah.
You know, so it's an entirely different like way to navigate that realm.
Like what I do is like I'm joining the Discord. There is a high chance that I mute the notification, and then I will unmute the notification if I found the project interesting. But the default is notification off.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Ex-
okay, and the other the company, like the next $1 billion company that you have is Ratio, so which is like we already mentioned it, right? So basically, you're helping people grow and doing the marketing with them, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we work with companies one-on-one to help them develop and execute marketing strategies, specifically on Twitter. Well, now X. So instead of like I think a lot of founders get overwhelmed by
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I gotta build my product. I've got to like manage Discord. I've got to tweet every single day."
Yeah.
We take the Twitter off your hands. We take the Twitter off your hands. We deal with it for you. We build you a strategy. You approve the strategy. We build you a content calendar. You approve the content calendar, and then you're hands off. You don't have to worry about anything. You give us a couple updates
Mm.
about what's happening with your products. You give us a couple updates about when important updates need to go out to the community, and we schedule all of it. We work directly with your team in order to
Okay.
build and execute the most effective marketing strategy on Twitter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I really need to DM you, bro. What would you do for decoders, for example, and to push the watch to earn meta on the timeline?
It just really depends, to be honest with you. I'm gonna plug my
Okay.
computer in
Oh,
slowly.
yeah.
It just depends, like a lot of like what we do is we take the first week or two to go through a discovery period with the founder. You know, so
Okay.
for the first week or two, we're on calls with you. We're building out a brand voice document. We're building out goal alignment documents. We're helping you understand what the vision is and where you want it to be, and we get into a more of like correlated mindset around how to actually run your Twitter and how to be effective with it. And then from after those first 2 weeks, like we can never sit down on the first call and say this is what we do, because it's really about the discovery period and understanding like who you are and where you want to be and why you want to be there. And then once we understand that a little bit more, we build a strategy that's like, how do we reach your audience, as well as how do
Mm.
we curate the audience that you already have, and how do we do it in a way that's effective.
Okay, bro. Okay, wait. I need to schedule a call with you, bro. Like, I want to do this discovery week stuff. Yes, wait, yes. If you're interested, I'm interested.
I'm happy to schedule a call with you. Let's do it.
Let's go. Amazing. That's cool. And that, yeah, I think that's it. In the chat, like if you have any question for function before we wrap it up, yeah, please just put a comment. But yeah, so I have like two questions before closing this stream. What's the question that you wish people ask you but they never do?
That's a good question. Um, Probably what's my golf handicap?
Ooh.
Because I swear I will kick every single person's ass on crypto Twitter at golf. That's a promise.
Are you working on like the guys like who swing? I don't know if it's the right word, but like fast and like far away, like the couple of ones that you posted recently, like the guy just hitting the ball and this shit is flying faster than the fucking plane, bro.
That's crazy, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta get out there and start practicing that,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, yeah, you have time during the bear market, right? So yeah, you have to reach that level before the bull because then you're not going to have time to play golf.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, and the last question is like, yeah, who should be the next guest, and can you please make your introduction?
Ooh, good question. Um, I'm happy to make an introduction, but let me think about that for a little while. I don't have an answer off the top of my head.
We can talk about that during our discovery call, man.
Wait, easy.
Amazing. So yeah, like dope as fuck, love real people. Yes, see, and that's what I want to see in the comment. I knew that that was the case with you, bro, and I'm so happy that we had this conversation. I'm so happy you're now part of the history of the channel. And yeah, thank you so much for that. That was like, really a kind human being, and I love it, man.
Thank you, man. It's awesome to be here, and I appreciate you having me.
Thank you so much. Yeah, do you have any takeaways for the audience that you want to yeah, spread, or like any call to action for everyone watching the show right now?
Man, yeah, I don't just follow me on Twitter, I guess, and come challenge me at golf and beat me.
Okay, so yeah, the beer challenge is like bit function on golf. Let's go. I
Oh.
don't, yeah, cool, yeah. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. And don't forget to claim your views. And subscribe to the channel, follow Fxnction. I'm pretty sure all of you will follow him anyway. Like and comment for SEO and stuff like that. We need that. And we will see you in the next stream. It will be like about season 3, probably Kevin, and if not Kevin, the X Plus crew talking about season 3 after the reveal. So let's go. Thank you so much again, Fxnction, and let's talk soon because we have some business to do together now. Thank you so much. Cheers, man. See ya.